do you do here?
I color the moon.
Welcome to Fun with Mama.
Hi, I'm Dean. Hi, I'm Alia. Hi, I'm Dion.
Hi, I'm Nadia.
Hi everyone! Today I'm so excited to show you how to turn worksheets into workbooks. Here is my alphabet letter workbook. I love to incorporate these into activities that I'm doing with my 4-year-old. My daughter Deanna loves these. She doesn't want to do one at a time. She wants to do 5, 6 pages at a time.
Will you tell us all the things you did here? What letter is that? It makes a moo
Mat.
sound. And what is that?
A gobble monster.
A monster. And what did you do here?
I color the moon.
What did you do here?
I circled it.
Uh-huh.
Then
You
I
connected
traced
it?
Yeah. And then I did it.
Mm-hmm. And then what did you use to make those dots?
But the way I use them is I actually incorporate letter learning with this activity. So what I do is I do our all about reading, pre-reading letter of the day. And then when we're done, so just say we worked on the letter D, then what we do is I would just take out the worksheet and do the letter D worksheets that you can see here. So these are some activities. So there is the letter, then it's color it blue, color the picture, so D for dog, circle the letter, trace it, connect it, and color the whole letter below. So there are so many children all over the world that are using it, and I have received the most amazing reviews. But I wanted to show you how to turn it into a workbook so that a child can see their progress and it could be used as a homework. All you need to do this is a binding machine. This is my binding machine. I love it. It works perfectly. It's easy to use. I was really worried. I thought it was going to be hard, but it's perfect.
So this is a closer look. It's a Fellows Star 150. This is where you do your hole punching. The hole punching happens in here, and you can adjust using the size of paper that you're using. So if you're using oversized cover or letter, I almost always have it on letter, but you have the ability to use it accordingly. And the paper size is perfectly aligned then. This area is for the plastic combs to create your workbook. And I store it like this. So that's about how much space it takes. It is really, really useful to have at home. It's all the letters of the alphabet, uppercase and lowercase. So I normally keep my coils here. So this one is 1/2 inch. There's a little measuring thing. So I most likely need to get my bigger one. I just went ahead and brought the coils, they're called combs. It's called plastic combs. And this is the 1/4 inch. I actually haven't really had use for this. I mean, this is just if you want maybe 4 or 5 pages. So I didn't actually use this yet. And then this is 1/2 inch. I do actually use this a lot. Here is the 3/4 inch. The 3/4 inch plastic combs comes in quite a large box. And it's totally filled up. So I normally just check my project and I see that this is a really good size. It leaves enough space for her to easily move the pages. If I went with the 1/2 inch, that would probably also work. I think I'm gonna go with 1/2 inch. Is that 1/2 inch? Yeah, I'm gonna go with 1/2 inch. Just looking at it together, it seems to work well. I just familiarize myself every time I use the workbook. So I printed everything out on normal printer paper. A lot of the times I do use cardstock, but for this particular activity, I didn't feel that the cardstock was necessary. There isn't a lot of painting involved in it, so I felt like normal computer paper was good. There are a lot of pages, so I'm not going to do it all in one go. I'm probably going to separate it into 3 piles. So let me show you. So I just put it through the machine. I make sure it's aligned and that everything is in the correct spot, and then I oh my gosh, it's really hard. There we go. And there is the binding. It looks pretty cool, doesn't it? So that was my first go on my first pile. Now we're gonna do the second pile. Maybe I'm gonna even do 4, I don't know. Make sure it's all aligned. There you go. Oops. Okay, pile number 2 is all ready. So I'm going to divide this up into 2 piles. Honestly, this is so great for schools. You can create this at the beginning of a year, and you can send this home as homework with students. You can just print it out for your own children. You can use it as a workbook. You don't even need to bind it. You can just use it as worksheets. So I had to separate it into another pile. So separate into as many piles as seems comfortable for your machine. Every machine is different. The one that I'm using is the Star 150. And I really think it's great. I love having it at home. I don't homeschool, but I do after school. I love spending time with my daughter. I love teaching her new things, and she loves learning with me. One of the great things about teaching my daughter after school or during weekends or like now during summer school holiday is that she has such a love for learning. When she thinks about learning, she doesn't think about frustration. She thinks about spending time with mom. She feels it's like it's connected to something loving. So I love teaching my kids, and like that's actually where Fun with Mama started, was my love for spending time with my kids and teaching them. So now I've made sure that it's all, well, the less pages that you use, the easier it is for you to actually punch the holes in. So now you can see that all the holes are in. So now the holes are perfectly punched out, and I've aligned it here. Now the next thing that I do is I put my choice of coil inside the machine. Okay, so here's a close-up for you. Here's the plastic comb. Again, this is the 1/2 inch. I make sure that the lever is on the left and that these little pieces are connected. Because you see, if it's not connected, it's not gonna pull the combs. So I make sure that it's in that position, and then I push the comb down, and then this is where the magic happens. You lift, and there you go. Did you see that? Isn't that so cool? So it opened everything up. And now I just go and I take the worksheets and I put them in. And as you can see, the plastic comb line is perfect for American US letter size paper. Whether you're homeschooling your children or whether you are like me and you're just doing activities together at home with your kids, all this time that you spend with them, there's so many benefits, not only for them, but for yourself. I feel like as a mother, I'm happier. As a woman, I'm happier. I love spending quality time with my kids, and I think that all mothers want to spend time with their kids, but sometimes we just don't know what to do. And when we don't know what to do, then the whole thing is like a little boring. But when we come up with fun activity ideas or fun things to do with our kids, like I often do painting with my kids because I think that it's a great way to bond, and I love painting. And I'm not very good at painting. So we're like learning together. I hope that they're all in. That was really hard to do one-handed. So my next step now is to let go of the coils. So you can see that all the coils, they're called combs, but I don't know why I call it coils. So it's all in, And then what I do is I pull this lever, and then take it out. Ta-da! And there is your workbook. Wasn't that easy? So the appropriate coil that I used, the appropriate plastic comb that I used was 1/2 inch. That gave me the perfect amount of space for my daughter to do the activity without being way too big. Like this one I think would have been a little bit big, and so storing it would have been a little harder. This is the perfect size. Now my daughter can use the activities, and it's all contained within this little book. So when she's done, we can move on, and at the end of the year when she's done, she can look back and see how her coloring was, whether she whether she improved on her coloring, whether she improved on connecting these lines. These lines are actually, I mean, children don't know it because it's like fun zigzags and little circles, but these actually are for handwriting, because when you're writing letters and words, these are types of shapes that you do actually make. So they actually are doing something important for their fine motor skills. They're practicing on their fine motor skills.
And what I love about these plastic combs is if you want to do a specific letter, like just say you just want to do the letter, let's see, letter H, you can just fold it back and that's it. That's all the child needs to see. She can put the letter there. If you would like, you could also have it open like this. So she's just looking at the letter that she's actually working on. All that you require when you are using the worksheets. So a child will need a pencil to do the tracing activity and the circle activity. A child will need a do-a-dot marker. This is not compulsory, but it is a lot easier. So the child can do the color or dot the letter below using these. That's great for working on their visual perception, making sure that they position it in the correct spot. They could also do the circle it activity using the do-a-dots, but they could also color it. They don't have to use the do-a-dot. If you don't have a do-a-dot marker in your country or near your home, I mean, you can order from Amazon, but if you don't have a place that Amazon delivers to, that that's where you're living, then you don't need to use that. It's just, my daughter loves using it. She loves the feeling of the do-a-dot markers, and I absolutely love that it does not make any mess. So the bare necessities is a pencil and crayons, because each activity has color the picture. I mean, you could just get one of these containers and put everything that's required for your alphabet letter worksheets in there. And you're good to go with an activity. So this is like a coloring book. It's an activity book, a coloring book, all focused on alphabet letters. I hope this was helpful for you. And if you have any questions, have any suggestions or feedback, or have any video recommendations, please let me know in the comments below. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because I have more fun videos planned for you.